Okay, so for Module 4, we're doing geometry and measurement. And the first thing I want to talk about is some misconceptions. And throughout this module, I think there are a couple that we talked about, but the one that I want to talk about today is regrouping in base 60. The students are used to regrouping in base 10 all year long except for this one unit. And so that's why I think that they want to regroup in base 10 when adding and subtracting times instead of regrouping in base 60. And I think one way that we can help them is to use analog clocks that have both hands that like move together. I'm not sure what those are called. This little one, that like when you move one of them, they both move. I think that's one way that we can help them to get over that misconception. And then some connections that we're going to be talking about today are regrouping in base 10. It's very similar, but they just need to know that 60 is our main unit, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but 60 is what we're going to be needing to make one whole. And number lines are similar to our timeline for our clock. And that's another thing that we're going to be using today. And so for my problem is Matt started playing basketball at 10:30. He finished playing at 3:15 p.m. How many minutes did he play basketball? And so to start off, I'm going to do the linear model. And so we know that Matt started, and on my timeline, it goes in increments of 15 minutes. So every tally or little dash mark is 15 minutes, and the thicker ones are where the hours are, and the little ones are 15, 30, and 45. And so we know he started at 10:30 a.m., so we're going to make a mark on the timeline where he started. And in order to get to 3:15, the first jump that we're going to make is a 30-minute jump from 10:30 to 11 a.m. I'm going to write 30 minutes on top. And from here we can go ahead and make 60-minute jumps up until 3. So we're going to make a 60-minute jump from 11 to 12 p.m. And then one from 12 to 1. One from 1 to 2. And one from 2 to 3. And now we're at 3 o'clock at this point, and we know he finished at 3:15, so we're going to have to make a little baby 15-minute jump, so having that be 15 minutes. And we need to know how many minutes he played basketball. So what I'm going to do is I always line mine up in order of how they occurred or how the jumps occurred. So we're going to start with 30 minutes, and then we have 4 60 minutes. And we have one 15-minute jump. And so we're going to add like normal because we're just doing minutes. So 5, 3 is 24, 25, 26, 27, 24, 28. 285 minutes is how long he played basketball. So we normally would convert to hours, but I think for time's sake, we're just going to keep it at minutes, especially that's what the question's asking. And so, that is the linear model. And so we're going to move on to the set model, which is the make 60 approach. And it's similar to the make 10 approach, but like I said, we're doing 60 minutes, or 60 is our base. So we know his start time was 10:30, so in our hours column, we're going to write a 10, and in our 30, in our minutes column, we're going to write 30. And so in the make 60 approach, you go to the nearest half hour or hour, and since we're already at a half hour, we're going to go ahead and make a 30-minute jump to 11 o'clock. And over here in our time tracker, that's where we're going to write our minutes that we're going to add up at the end. And so now that we're at a full hour, we can make a 12 o'clock jump of 60 minutes. jump to 1 o'clock p.m., another 60 minutes, so like 6, 2 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock. So we have all of our, we're up to 3 o'clock, so now we just need to get to 3:15, which was our end time, so that would be a 15-minute jump. And so once again, all of our numbers are lined up, so we would add that up to equal 285 minutes.